Hey guys, I'm Nick Mittel from the University of Tennessee, and this is my second vlog for my English 102 research papers. If you saw my first vlog, it was over hands-on unit research where I interviewed my grandparents over their craftsmanship, my grandpa for woodworking, and my grandma for quilting. Well, this one we took a different role and we decided to do archival research from the 1940s or earlier. So you could in the 1940s, the 1930s, the 1920s, and so on and so forth. Well, I decided to do World War II, the war in the Pacific, against the Japanese. And everyone knows about the attack on Pearl Harbor, which happened on December 7th, 1941. It was just a devastating blow to all Americans. And we got attacked on Sunday. Nobody was prepared for it. Like, it's a Sunday, so everyone's on like liberty or at church or either asleep, because government people, military they don't work on Sundays. And then, so after that, on December 8th, the Japanese also decided to attack two islands, Guam and Wake Island. Those are like, we lost like little losing battles here and there. And then in 1942, we won the first major battle, and that was the Battle of Midway. If we didn't win that war, if we didn't win that battle, then who knows what today would be like, because since we won that, then we were that much closer, because Battle of Midway was exactly midway between the U.S. and Japan. And then 2 months later, Guadalcanal happened. I don't know if everybody heard about Guadalcanal, but it was the first amphibious landing for the Marines on August 7th of 1942. It consisted of 16,000 Marines. I mean, it's a big group of Marines, considering that the Marines aren't a very big military unit and only have about we're just downsizing right now. So being just under 200,000 Marines compared to the Army, where they have thousands upon thousands of soldiers. And then right after Guadalcanal, kind of slowed down a little bit, and then we got, everyone knows Iwo Jima, with the 5 Marines planting the flag on Mount Suribachi. And this was a major stronghold for the Japanese. And Japanese had 21,000 Japanese soldiers waiting for the Marines and Navy ships, and they consisted of 1,500 caves and pillboxes, which was protecting the whole island. And we needed to capture this island for their airfield that they had to help save the B-29 bombers that were conducting and coming back from bombing raids that was happening over Japan and various islands around Japan. Because the other airfield was in Guadalcanal, which was a little bit farther, or they were coming from Pearl Harbor. And the last major stronghold that the Japanese had was in Okinawa, Japan, where now there is a Marine base on Okinawa. And I'll talk about that later. This held 117,000 Japanese soldiers, and they weren't going to give this island up easily. They were fighting to the last man, and then this was the longest battle that was against the Japanese. It lasted for 3 months. And then once the Marines declared victory, then the U.S. offered Japanese to surrender unconditionally without invasion, which means if they surrendered, we weren't going to invade Japan and take over Japan. So then, a month later, the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Soviet Union issued the Potsdam Declaration to Japan, which means they would be disarmed and occupied, and its war-making power be destroyed, which means they're not allowed to have a gigantic, strong military anymore, and being disarmed and occupied means that now we have a Marine base on Okinawa, Japan, to make sure nothing like World War II ever happens again. Well, the Japanese decided that they didn't like those conditions, so they refused it. Well, then that caused to be a fatal blow to them, mostly to the citizens, because we weren't attacking the military anymore. So then we decided to drop, as you know, the 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The first bomb was dropped on the city of Hiroshima on August 6, 1945. This killed thousands. Well, then after the bomb was dropped, we offered Japan to surrender again. Well, then they refused and they wanted to continue the fight. So then just 3 days later, on August 9th, 1945, we dropped the second bomb on the city of Nagasaki. Well, then after that bomb, the emperor of Japan decided that they would like to take the offer of the Potsdam Declaration. So then a month later, aboard the USS Missouri on September 2nd, 1945, Japan signed the formal surrender, and that's when the war in the Pacific was over for the Marines and Navy that were stationed there. And once that happened, then everyone knew that Japan could be defeated, and the rumor wasn't that they couldn't be defeated ever again. Well, I would like to thank you guys for tuning in. See ya.